So I don't know what it's been, but I think it's recently, like, on TV. Victorious has been on a lot. And so, like, I'd just sit there and I'd just, like, watch the episodes.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'll never watch live TV. And I'm like, man, this show's good. Like, I like this show. Yeah. To the point where, like, when you were coming in, I was listening to one of the songs. I was like...
I still listen to the songs.
Yeah, I was like, this is good.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah.
Like, literally, when I'm in the car with my friends and I have the aux cord, it's playing some Victorious.
Yeah, I'm like, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still like this. Whew. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. It's good to know. Should I, like, get
trying
that promotional...
Trying to get a brand deal?
Brand? See, the only thing is, now I have to turn mine every time when I want to take a sip.
Tyler, do you want the money or no?
I do. Oh. No, you know what? Mine will be the warning label if they can actually read that.
Oh, yeah,
then,
both sides,
you know.
Mine was printed correctly,
yeah,
obviously.
I mean,
Someone messed up there.
Should have chose a better can.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Here we go. Wrote these things out of order, so I sure hope that I can, like... Remember, or read the numbers I put next to them to know.
Well, hopefully you can read the numbers.
Okay, here we go. Episode 15.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. How long have you haven't been on here for a while, have you?
No, it's been a good couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Was the last one that I on, like, number 9?
I think so.
Or was it 11?
It might have been 11.
Because I think I was on
11.
it after Jaylene, after she did, like, the surprise thing for you for 10, yeah.
Yeah, it was 11.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's still, like, a month.
Yeah, that's like a month worth of... Wow.
But, yeah, because I think I was on it right after state boards.
Yeah, because we talked about that. About your whole experience and everything.
Yeah.
Wow. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Episode 15?
Yeah.
Here we go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Four Honors Podcast, where myself and a friend get together and we talk about 4 random topics for your enjoyment.
And I'm the friend.
And she's a friend. Sydney.
Hello.
How have you been? Yeah.
Stressed.
Same. Are you, like... Does this
want
podcast...
me to elaborate,
I mean, like,
or...
if you want, but does this podcast, like, allow you to kind of relax a bit? Like, more of just, like, sit and talk instead of go.
I mean, I'm still not going. I'm procrastinating everything, and that's stressing me out more, but I'm not going to stop procrastinating until the last second, so it's fine.
You'll get it done.
Yeah.
It's okay. Might not be today.
It might not be okay.
It might not. It might not be okay, and it might not be today, but, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Someday, eventually. Whew. Deep breath. I feel like we need some sort of, like, tranquil music or something to, like, play in the background the entire time. Just because we're both, like, constantly...
I know. We're very stressful people.
Oh my gosh. To be honest, I don't even know. I want to keep this podcast going, but I don't know the next couple of weeks how it's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning on still keeping it going, but I have so much stuff going on that I might have to, I don't want to skip a week, but I might have to skip a week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if it's like a later day.
That's also
like
true.
A Thursday or a Friday.
That's also true.
Or something. But yeah, if you need a break, you need a break. So.
Yeah. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that I can still go with it. Because I love this. This is fun. Great time. You need me back more.
I know. Tyler.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Topic 1. Here we go. Jumping into it. So, this one I'm calling Forever Friends. Now, the reason why I'm calling it Forever Friends is because I want to know who or what makes up a forever friend. So, the people that I consider a forever friend are people that you talk to, you have this connection with, you hang out with. You can go forever without seeing them, months to a year, even beyond without seeing them. But as soon as you two get together in the same room or whatever, it's still that instant connection. Yeah. Like, no matter how much time has passed, you still have that with them. And it seems like there's no time whatsoever that's passed. So, like, for example, one of mine is Ryan. I haven't spoken with him for, it was probably like a year up until a couple days ago. It's probably close to a year that I haven't heard or met up with him or anything. And actually, I saw his Jeep was in the driveway, and I texted him like, "Hey, are you back in town?" He's like, "Yeah, just for the day." I'm like, "Oh, well, if you have time, you want to hang out and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, that'd be awesome." And so we ended up hanging out for a couple hours, and it seemed like no time passed in between whatsoever. We picked up where we left off and have like this connection
right
thing.
Back to where it was, yeah.
And I mean, that connection formed kind of, it was like the tail end of high school for me, when we were both graduating, because we're in the same class. We were both graduating, and then we were both ended up going to Northwest State Community College up in Archbold. And so we would always like hang out while we were up there, and then we would go do things afterwards or after class or before class or the days that we didn't have class. And like that whole bond thing started forming there.
Yeah.
Like, end of high school, beginning of college. And then it's just kind of like stuck around the entire time. So I didn't know what for you or who for you.
I mean, yeah, I think I have a couple. There's this one girl that I've been friends with since, I mean, like first grade, maybe even kindergarten. And she moved away to like Toledo, an hour away from us. Yeah. I think it was like in the third grade, like the summer between second and third grade.
Okay.
So, but her grandma actually lives uptown.
Yeah.
So she would always go to and come to her grandma's house, and I would always go to her grandma's house like on the weekends, and we would still hang out. But it's probably been over a year since I saw her last. But like, we still text and stuff, and like I invited her to my graduation party, and I invited her grandma to my graduation party and stuff. So I'm excited to see her then. But like every time that we have hung out in the past, like especially once we got older, we didn't get to see each other as often because of our schedules. But like even when we would meet at her grandma's house, it was still like same old connection and stuff like that. Yeah, that's probably the biggest one for me. Okay. Is her, yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, the hardest thing is, and when him and I were talking and we were hanging out, is the fact of, as you get older, there's more stuff that gets thrown at you. You guys get pulled in, like, different directions. Yeah. Like, you're not doing the same thing at the same place every time, like, you typically are, where that connection typically forms. But yet, I feel like there's this unique thing that doesn't happen all the time and seems rare, is that there's still that constant connection. Yeah. Like, no matter how much time, a year or more has passed. Yeah. It's almost as if, like, no time has passed, even though you guys have been in two separate worlds for the most part.
I mean, I feel like when you're apart from them, like, for me, at least, this person is not my best friend. Yeah. Like, it's not someone that I see every day, that I constantly talk to every day. But she's someone that I do consider like a really important part of my life, I would say. I have lots of memories with her and stuff. So, I mean, like, the time that we're apart from each other, it's not like I'm sitting here depressed because I don't have her with me. Yeah. And not that that's, like, a bad thing or anything. It's just, like, you just kind of go on with your life. And when you do get to see them, it's great. And when they're not there, it's kind of like, okay, like, I'm going to
do my thing, you do your thing, and then whenever our paths cross, then we'll...
So it's like whenever you do see each other, it really isn't like any time has passed because of that. So,
and I think that's also a fun part, is like catching up with each other to see what the other person has been up to or what's new with them and what's new with you, and like comparing like, hey, this is where I went and this is where you went, and then
like we both started in the same place, but we went two totally different
completely
pathways.
different. Yeah. And it's neat to see like how that went.
Yeah,
like the differences. So okay, I mean, I don't know. I would say I have a handful of them.
Yeah, I have like a couple. I would say.
Typically my core group of friends that I have, we're always trying to do something over the weekend or over every other weekend or something like that.
There's those friends that you have that are like, they know everything that's going on in your life. They're a part of your life. Yeah. Like they help you through stuff. And then there's other friends that like you go to like have fun and like stuff like that. And not that there's like a bad thing between either one of those. It's just like, it's a different type of friendship. So
yeah. And I think it was also interesting when I was talking to him is the fact of, he was talking about how he literally hasn't seen anyone from our class.
Really?
Like within the past year or so.
Wow.
Like just because of the fact of like where he's at and what he's doing, he doesn't ever like hang out or like
Does
connect with anyone. Does
he not live around here anymore?
No, he actually lives in Toledo right now.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, about like a year and a half, 2 years ago, he went out to Toledo with two of his friends because they were renting out a house, the three of them up there, because they were all going to University of Toledo.
Yeah.
And so, just recently, actually, he's planning on within the next month or two. God, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. Him and his girlfriend are getting a place up in Toledo, like their own apartment and stuff. But he's like, I'm always doing something, like I'm always busy or something, and I don't. He's like, besides you and the occasional few other people, he's like, I don't bother talking to or hanging out or catching up with anyone just because like. Not his interest.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about high school. It's like you don't really get to choose who's like in your class and stuff. So, I mean, they're there and you grow up with them. At least in our small town, you grow up with them. But it's not like...
How many are you graduating with, by the way?
I do not know. You know? It has, like... I think sometimes our class has been as big as like 37, 38. But I know for a fact it's smaller than that now.
Yep.
Because people have like moved and stuff. So I'm guessing around 30.
Okay.
That could be way too big. That could be a little smaller. But I'm guessing, whenever someone asks me, I say about 30.
Yeah, because mine was 32.
Yeah.
Graduated with 32, and that's including the 2 foreign exchange students.
Oh, I didn't even think about them.
So, yeah. That's why I was asking. Like, I didn't know. Because, that's a whole nother thing, too. When you grow up in, like, a small town, is the fact of...
Everyone kind of expects you to, like, stay friends with them. It's like...
Yeah, but to be completely honest, besides the core group of friends and Ryan, like, the forever friend that I'd consider him, I've talked to maybe 2 other people outside of that. Yeah. That, like, I care to talk to.
Yeah.
And the other ones are kind of like disappeared.
Yeah. I don't really like, I mean, there's maybe like 2 people that I'll definitely stay in touch with, but like maybe like a handful of people that I would like check up on like Facebook or something in like a few years. But like, I don't really like, especially since I go to the vocational school now or the trade school or whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't really talk to people from my home school. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's a whole nother thing too, is like at university and stuff, there's people there that I probably won't ever talk to again. Or like one of my friends, Taylor, she like the entire last semester I've seen her maybe twice. Wow. Just because we've both been busy doing our own things and stuff. So I've talked to her maybe twice in the entire semester, and the semester started in January. Like, I started in January, we're in May. So, but I mean, that's bringing up the Facebook thing is an interesting thought too, because social media is so much of a... Typically, I don't care to hang out with you in person, or I don't care enough.
Well, like, I want to know what's going on.
But I'll take a few glimpses just to see. Like, sometimes I don't consider you a friend, but I'll look just to see, like, what's going on.
Yeah. I think that's just, like, part of our, like, society now is we're so nosy and we want to know stuff. I mean, I'm nosy as heck, so...
Background checks on everyone.
Yes. I have done my research.
Before I meet you, I will do a background check. Do you have any priors?
Let me know now before I find out myself. But yeah, and like, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I guess it's the thing, like, growing up, you kind of grow up together in the small town, so you kind of still do care, like, a little bit about what happens to them, but at the same time, like, it's not like you're gonna personally message them and be like, hey, like, congrats on the new baby and stuff like that.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, you had a kid.
Maybe I'll like the picture, but...
Heart for you.
Yes, love.
Maybe a thumbs up. Maybe a smiley face now that Facebook now has smiley faces.
Yeah.
Maybe an angry face. You're like, no. Poor kid.
You made the wrong choice.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just an interesting thing to think about. Like, there's definitely a group of people that you're like, I want to stay in touch with as long as I possibly can. And then there's a group of people that, even though you aren't always in touch with them, you still have that connection. And then there's, like, the rest of the people.
The no-goes.
Like, nah, I'll look at you every now and then. But other than that, we're probably never going to see each other again. So. Okay. So on to topic 2 then.
Okay.
So I want to know what you consider as being content. So the reason why I brought this up, and we discussed this briefly beforehand, is because what exactly is it that makes it your own content to share? So obviously me doing this podcast with you, with my friends, like, this is my content. This is our content. Yeah. This is what we do. This is completely ours. Yeah. But then, so, our cousin, Ruby, which she did a really good job. She created 2 so far as I know. She's created only 2.
Yeah, she wants to make more.
I'm sure she does. But she's created 2 videos using us, our podcast, and she's cut it up and edited it to make one of where it looks like you're completely annoyed at me when I talk on this podcast. Because of,
part of that is mainly just, like, my face. Like, my normal face is this. Yeah. So, like, while you're talking, I'm not going to sit there like a newscaster and just be like this. Yeah. So, but it's hilarious. Like, oh, it was so funny.
Like, she made that, and that's hilarious.
And I was there when she made it, and she made it in, like, 10 minutes.
Did she really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Like, she was fast at it, too, and she's been into, like, making movie stuff and, like, videos and stuff like that for probably, like, 2 years now. Wow, like, she has her own, I don't know if she has it anymore, but she used to have her own little tripod. And, like, we went to Alabama a few years ago, and she vlogged the whole time. And made, like, her own little vlog and stuff. So, it's really cool.
That's awesome. And then, like, so the second one that she did was me taking a drink every time I took a drink. Yeah. It was, like, consecutive.
And it's, like, 2 minutes long. And it's 2 minutes long. Sipping.
But it's really good. Like, she's really good at it. So, my question for you is, 1, what do you think of Ruby and, like, her editing skills? Because I'm impressed. Yeah. Like, she's done a great job. She can use my content whenever she wants.
Pirate our videos.
Oh, go God. For it. No, don't do that. Not the entire video. You have to, like, make it your own. But then, where do you fall on what makes a person's individual content? Like, can that technically be considered her content? Or is that still ours?
There are channels, like, viral channels. Have you heard of the channel Shook? Yeah. Like, their whole channel is videos that they have edited of, like, beauty gurus, like, Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
And that's content. Like, I watch those and they're hilarious.
Which is, like, essentially the same thing she's doing.
Yeah, or, like, is Drew Monson okay? That is one of my favorite YouTube videos ever. I watch it all the time. And that is definitely content. But,
yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a point to where, like, I mean, people record the whole video and will post it as their own. And that's not okay. That's not content. That's, like, stealing and stuff like that. But I think if you take the video and you change the idea of it, or you change the image of it, or how people perceive it, I see that as content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as long as you put your own creative spin on it, not just record the video, put it on your own channel.
Yeah.
Like, if you do what she's doing, where she takes parts of the video, cuts it up, then makes it her own.
Yeah.
I feel like that's creating content. Yes, you are using someone else's stuff, but you're putting your own spin on it. Like, it's her own creative style.
And I mean, like, it kind of goes with, like, how, this is an example, but, like, how music is made. Like, someone makes the beat, like, the actual music. Someone does the vocals. Someone does the, like, tuning to it. Like,
very true.
It's under, like, one artist's name, but, like, several people, like, helped make that song.
Had a hand in it. Yeah,
so,
that's very true.
And that's content. Like,
I mean, that, too, as well as also when in certain songs they sample someone else's song to put into it. But, yeah, I mean, like, I think it's hilarious. I think she does, like, a really good job. Last when I asked her, I jokingly, but kind of not really jokingly, asked her if I somehow was able to give her these videos, like, if she would edit them for me, which I love editing myself, so I don't think I could do that unless I got into the mode where, like, I didn't have time and I was doing so many other things. But like, she's good. Like,
I mean, her being so young, I think she's like 12.
Yeah, I mean, like, if she keeps up with it, and this is something that,
and, like,
she's
you're
actually
22,
into,
like, the videos when she's your age are gonna be insane if she keeps doing this.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
Because if she keeps up with it, I mean, there's so many, like, I barely watch TV anymore. It's typically content creators on YouTube or something that I watch. That tends to be my go-to for entertainment. And it seems like that's the way it's going for a majority of people, like, our age, like, our generation, and getting younger and stuff.
Well, I mean, even people that are in TV shows do YouTube, too.
That's also true.
And, like Madeleine Petsch from Riverdale, she has her own YouTube channel. So, I mean, not that it goes hand in hand, but, like, they're definitely on the same platform now, I would say.
I feel like they're definitely on the same level. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, Casey Neistat, which is, like, he's been a big inspiration and influence on the stuff that I tried to do, that I tried to create, just because he makes such great content. Was a movie director, decided that that wasn't what he wanted to do anymore, and then decided to make his own stuff. And post it on the internet, post it on YouTube, do that sort of thing. And, I mean, he did this whole video of, like, the fact that back when he was starting, the only way that he saw to get content or to get people to see him and his style was to do a big movie production and then put it in the theaters. Yeah. Whereas now, and he makes this video about how, like, now there's no more red tape or red velvet rope that's blocking anyone from sharing or any of their creative ideas or content. And the fact that now we all have something in our pockets that we can do everything on. We can record, we can edit, we can share, we can post. And, like, just the fact of, if that's where we're at now, what's it going to be like in 5 to 10 years? I mean, technology is rapidly growing, and people are now starting to realize that they want to find people with individual voices that want to share and create their own stuff to entertain and inform the public. And the fact that now it's as easy as I pick up this phone, I record something,
and you post it.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Done. But, I mean, and with Ruby being as young as she is, if she does keep up with this, I mean...
And, I mean, she has other videos, too. Like, one that I thought was really cool was, for a whole week, she did a cartwheel and, like, practiced her cartwheels the whole week. And, like, it literally shows, like, how bad the first one was to, like, how almost perfect the last one was. And it's, like, not that long of a video. It's probably, like, maybe a minute long or something. But, like, that was, like, creative, and, like, she edited it, and it was, like, I really liked that video of hers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's becoming more and more accessible.
And she's
now.
12. Like,
and she's 12.
Like,
hello.
It's crazy. I mean, I was making videos at that age, too, but...
I was gonna say, like, I wanted to, but I was never, like... It'll be good enough for me to actually share it with anyone. That sort of thing.
Oh, I just did it, dude. I still have the videos. And, like, maybe one day I'll share them, but, like, they're horrifying.
Oh, I know. Have you looked at Podcast 1? Even Podcast 1 is horrifying.
Imagine, like, a podcast 5 years ago.
Oh, I know.
Like, it's scary.
I know, but, like... Even if you look at Podcast 1, like...
Is it rough?
It's rough. Like it's not bad, but you can definitely tell it was Podcast 1.
Yeah.
Like, still trying to find the vibe, the flow, and everything, and still trying to be like, we have to keep talking. Like,
we're sitting there like...
Yeah. No, it's bad, but, I mean, I've, over the years, have gotten to the understanding of, like, just do it. Like, you have to start somewhere. Everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Who cares what other people think? Maybe it'll be a hit. Who knows? Maybe 5-10 years down the line, this will be it. This will be all that
you do.
You do, yeah. I mean, like, you don't know until you try. So
yeah.
And I certainly want to try it if it wasn't for the college push for that project. And I was like, they're like, you can do anything. I'm like... That's dangerous.
I hate when teachers say that to me, because I feel like I need specific directions.
Yeah.
Like, in drama at the beginning of the year, we had a Don't Be Boring project, and he was like, you can stand in front of the room and do anything for 1 minute as long as you're not boring. I was like, I could literally do anything. I could sit there and eat pizza. I could sit there and, like, have a Q&A. Like, I could literally do anything. And what I chose, I regret deeply. It was so, like, it was boring. I don't know how I did not get an F on that. But, like, I can't. I need directions.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was one of those things where, like, doesn't even have to be in your field or your major. You can just do whatever you want.
Like, explain that more to me. Did he just say, like, you can write a paper or, like, whatever? Like,
yeah,
what...
she was like, okay, so...
Or, like, what was it?
Okay, so it was for my honors class. And she's like, well, as an honors student, you have to have your honors capstone, which is just a big project that you do. Study, research, whatever. And she's like, in this, we allow you to have your creative freedom so you can do whatever you want with it. So, for example, some people did, they analyzed... fairy tales, the Disney versus the Brothers Grimm, and for her project she made 2 books, cut out the inside of the books, and made like a diorama collage thing of one with things that symbolize the Brothers Grimm's darker tales of fairy tales, and then one that represents the Disney side of fairy tales. Another person did kind of like the culture on campus when it comes to being a like an immigrant, or when it comes to being like a also like a non-traditional student and stuff like that. Just kind of like,
so basically anything that you're interested in.
So yeah, it can be just any interest whatsoever. One kid did his was on like some sort of financial like analysis and how people view banks and stuff like that. Not my sort of thing. I mean, good for him. He put in a lot of work. But not exactly my sort of thing, but I sat there and watched and listened, and he did good. He did good research and stuff like that. But so yeah, it could be on anything, and I'm like, well, I've always been a fan of content creators and how they produce their content, how they come up with ideas, how they record it, how they edit it, how they share it. And I'm like, well, what if I did a study? And by a study, I do this side project of this podcast, which I'm continuing, obviously.
Yeah.
And see how the process goes, how it works, how it reaches the groups. And I brought it up to her. I'm like, listen, this has never been done. There is little to no research whatsoever on any of this. I've checked. Because we were supposed to have like a book reading list of what we were going to do. I'm like, there is none. Like, none.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and there's this and this. She's like, no one's ever done that before. But if you want to do it, have at it. I'm like, awesome. So I did. And then a couple weeks ago, she's like, hey, if you want me to share the link of your podcast to everyone, I'd be more than happy to send it out to the people on campus, the professors and the students and stuff. So I'm like, okay, here's the link. Share it up. But no, and like I got so many.
That's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it is.
Whoa.
But then so like I got so many like compliments from it and kind of why I did because for my presentation I like made a quick 2-minute snippet of like a bunch of different episodes. Did I ever show you this?
I don't think so.
Okay, I will show you this after the podcast. And I like showed it to them because I'm like, it's easier for me to show you than for me to try to explain it to you.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
It's back.
It's back. The ghost is back.
First it turns on a light like that literally scared me.
I know. You know what? It's just going to stay like that for the rest of the podcast. I'm not even going to fix it.
Leave it. It's fine.
Hopefully it doesn't.
The United States has tipped.
We lost part of
It's literally
California.
going down like the Titanic.
Oh, well, it's staying there. But yeah, so that's...
My reaction to that is going to be so funny. I literally think I jumped.
But yeah, so that's what it was. It was like, you have your own creative freedom, do with it as you want. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I'm running then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how that went.
Sweet.
That was a tangent from topic 2.
Yes.
Next topic then?
Yes.
Number 3. Kind of leads into it. You came up with this one. Kind of. Didn't you? Yeah, I think so. Creative Ruts?
Yes, I did.
Yes, okay. Would you like to introduce this one then?
Wait, did I? Yes, I did. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, so if you watch YouTube, you've probably seen it. Shane Dawson came out with a video series with Graveyard Girl. Basically, like, seeing why her channel, like, views have gone down and why so many people aren't watching her videos anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure she used to get like millions of views. Like, she hit 1 billion views once. Really? And now her videos are getting like 100,000 views. So he basically just like, and he did it with like Ryland and Garrett and Drew, like helping them like reinvent their channels and stuff. So he reached out to her, and they're doing this series on like why and like what's going on in her life, and helping her like come up with new ideas, I would think, because I mean I've only seen one episode of it. The other episodes haven't come out yet. But basically she's just like in a rut, or she was in a rut. And she literally said that she felt like she was failing in front of everybody, and like she's scared to like she's scared to fail, but like she feels like she already is. And she's stuck creatively, like she doesn't know how to change it up, and she's not like being open, and like people can see that, and when you see that, it's kind of like fake, you know? Yeah. And like I was kind of surprised, like in Shane's video, she's a totally different person than in her actual videos. Like in her videos, she's like, hey, what's up guys, it's Bunny. And like in the video, she was just talking normal. Like she literally puts on like this persona almost. And I think that was just getting like really tiring for her. So I came up with this idea of like a creative rut that you've been in, or if you have like any advice to how to get out of creative ruts, or just your experience with them, like if you've been in one and you want to share it. Or...
Yeah. Okay. Definitely.
Okay.
Couple questions first.
Okay.
How long?
Questions.
how long has she been on? Like, she's been around for...
She's been on for a while.
You know?
Shane said that, like, in the video, he says that he remembers them starting around the same time. But then she said that she remembers watching Shane and being like, oh, I want to do that.
Okay.
So she probably started, like, a little bit after Shane, but she's been on for a while. She's definitely one of the OGs of YouTube.
So then she's probably been on for like 6 years, probably. I'd say. Probably.
Honestly, it's
Longer?
been more than that. I would...
I'll say 7.
I want to think 10.
Really?
Yeah.
How long has Shane been? Shane hasn't been on for...
Shane's been on for 10 years.
I was gonna say he's only been on for 10 years, so hers
maybe it's been
like
around like
8?
9 or 8, yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And has she, do you know, has that always been her thing? Like, the persona and stuff that she puts on in her videos?
Or in the beginning, like, she used to do, like, spooky videos and, like, talking about the paranormal and stuff like that, so she was kind of, like, just, like, talking normal. Like, hey, what's up, it's Bunny, and today I have an experience, blah, blah, blah. But, like, as time went on, she definitely... And, I mean, like, I'm not saying that she's being fake or anything. I think that that definitely is, like, a part of her.
Yeah.
But, like, you can tell when someone's, like, forcing a smile and forcing being happy and stuff like that. And that's definitely what happened.
Which, I mean, that's so much of... that's one of the reasons why I think so many people connect with content creators.
Because they are the weird ones.
Because they are the weird ones, they are themselves. Mm-hmm. I think what happens is people get in trouble when she does, when almost kind of like what she does, or what, gosh, I can't even think of her name. Miranda sings. What's Colleen Ballinger. When you start, and I mean, like, I can't say that it's fake or anything, because obviously it's something that they found, that it's a part of them.
And I mean, it's the same thing as like playing a character on a TV show, like we talked about earlier. It's like the same platforms, but I could see how it gets tiring.
100%.
Like,
I mean, that's when I think when you do that, because I'm never going to try to be something like that. I'm never going to try to form like a persona, and then I
mean, people might, like, connect you with the person that you are online. Because, I mean, you may be different in real life. But, like, I know you and I know that you aren't. Like, this is Tyler.
Like, but, sorry if that disappoints.
But I read this online the other day. And it's, like, I cannot wrap my brain around it. But it's, like, you have your own vision of yourself. Like, you feel like you know yourself. But people that see you, like, in the grocery store, they have a different view of you. Your family has a different view of you. Your friends have a different view of you than what you think you are. And it's just like, how do people really see me? Like, what like traits would they say I have? Compared to like what I think I have. You know, and that's just like crazy. Like, blew my mind.
No, I mean, it is when you start thinking about that. Just because so many different people can see you in so many different instances. And it can be one of these things where I've heard people, like, the like famous people talk about how they go and say they meet one of their fans or whoever meets them, and they can have an off day that one day. And because of that one awful day that they had,
they're a horrible person.
They're not the way that they typically are. They're not as happy or something when they meet this fan, and all of a sudden the fan thinks that, okay, this must be how they are, and it's just that split second decision that they make. And it's like, they're not awful.
You have to remember that, like, everyone's human. And I mean, I've had experience like that where I've met someone that I've looked up to or like stuff like that, and I was like disappointed because I didn't feel like they were giving me like what I thought they were in that moment. But I mean, like, the experience that I had, like, I was super young. So, growing up, like, I completely understand it now, and I, like, don't even, like, I don't have hard feelings or anything about it. But, like, it is true, like, I definitely have my off days. And that's scary to think about.
But, I mean, just that. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I never want to be the person that has a persona in stuff that I do. Like, I want to be genuinely me. Because I want other people to connect with and be able to find those who are also genuinely themselves or genuinely like me or find me entertaining for who I am. Yeah. Not for being this upbeat, hey, what's up, you guys, blah, 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 persona, or like...
Because that's not Tyler.
Or like, conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you find what I do entertaining or you find me entertaining, I want you to do that and find that as it being me so that if I do meet you...
It's me. Like, you aren't disappointed or anything. And I mean, like, I can speak for it myself. Like, this is Tyler. Like, it's literally not any different when we're sitting at grandma's house at Christmas. Like, it's the same person.
It's very true.
So. Very
true. But, I mean, I feel like that definitely weighs on people. That definitely gets you in that creative rut that's... Everybody has them. Yeah. Everybody. No matter what you're doing.
Yeah. Imagine having that, though, with, like, 8 million subscribers, 8 million people, like, waiting for your next video to come out, expecting it to be the next best thing. Yeah. That's a lot of pressure.
And I feel like one solution for it that the people watching might not like, and it's one that maybe in the next month, I don't know how my schedule personally is going to go, but... Sometimes you have to step away. Sometimes you have to take a break. And hopefully the people that are watching or that are with you or your friends, your fans, your followers, whatever you want to call them, hopefully they understand that. Like, hopefully they understand that you are a person. Everyone has days or weeks or months or whatever it is that they're just, like, drained. Completely drained. And... they can't get out of it, and they also can't create something. Yeah. So one way to do that is to take a bit of time for yourself. Like, step away from everything. Don't think about it. Just completely and utterly relax. Yeah. Like, be yourself. Focus on improving yourself. Yeah. Not trying to improve content to create for other people.
Yeah. Create it for yourself. And, like, you have to remember... You are not creating a TV show. You do not have a crew. You do not have all of these people helping you. It is just you doing it. I mean, sometimes, like, people now have, like, editors and filmers and blah, blah, blah. But, like, you're not on a TV set. Like, you do not have all these people help, like, creating one thing. It's you. And that's a big responsibility, and it's a lot of work. So if you need to take time to, I don't know, figure out what's next, then that's fine. Like, I would rather someone that I watch, if, like, I have noticed that their videos just, like, they aren't themselves or anything, I would rather them take months off than, like, take a week off and then come back the next week and it not be any better. Yeah. Like... just because of the society we live in, we want good content. So, like, and that's a stressful thing to say, but, like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's just, like, if you need to take time, take time. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. And I get that some people, it's their job. Yeah. And, you know, they need an income and stuff, but you can't force yourself to put out stuff that you aren't, like... 100% behind,
passionate about. I think that's a big thing. I mean, recently in Shane Dawson's video, he was talking about how before he switched to these, like, 3-part, 4-part documentary sort of style, he found himself in such a rut, and to the point where, like, he didn't like what he was doing. Like, he liked doing it, but he didn't find the excitement in sharing it or clicking that, like, upload button, you know? Like, for me, I've realized that within these past months, the most exciting thing is when it goes live. When I upload it and it goes live, and then I get to see, like, on social media and stuff, people commenting or liking or sharing or, like, there's a feeling to that that you can't explain.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like you've put all that time into it. Like, you sat there filming it, you sat there editing it, and then like you put it out, and to see people like care about it and want to watch it and like look forward to watching it every week. I don't get that feeling every week, but like I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like I did it. This was part of my project. So in my project, I remember closing the paper talking about how this is not something for everyone. For the people that are passionate and want to do it, there's a specific sort of person that each video in podcasts, like, people don't see this, but each video in podcasts, I probably put an extra 5 to 6 hours on average in everything else that I do to get it ready for like an hour and a half to go live.
I mean, can you imagine how much time Shane puts in?
I know.
For those 3-part series?
And I'm just doing a
1 hour video every week.
1 hour video every week. Like, and it doesn't scare me at all.
Well, I mean, another part of that is like you enjoy doing it. It's a hobby to you. And
I mean, if anything, it pushes me and I want to make more. I want to make more as crazy as it sounds, knowing that this takes me an extra 5 to 6 hours on average to do everything. And yet I still find myself wanting to do more. Yeah. So it takes a dedicated person that's passionate about what they're doing to create this sort of thing. And those people, they do find themselves in like creative ruts. I mean, like, they don't see this, but typically when we get together, we're sitting here like an hour ahead of time trying to think of stuff that we can talk about. Yeah. Just because we don't have time throughout the week to come up with it.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, I think the longest we've ever went is like almost 2 hours. Because like we sit here and like we catch up a little bit, and then we like look through social media and see if anything pops out at us, and then we just kind of talk and discuss things. And I mean, today it took us like 20 minutes, which was very surprising. Like I was literally at home thinking like, oh my god, I need to think of something. Like, Tyler's gonna kill me. I have nothing. But I mean, it took us the fastest it's ever taken us, and that was really nice. I know. But like sometimes we're just sitting here in silence, like, what's next? So, yeah.
No, I think that no matter how passionate or creative someone is about something, you will always find yourself in some sort of creative rut. And for me, it's a matter of stepping back and doing something else. Yeah.
Definitely, because, I mean, one thing that we do in school is if we're doing, this sounds like kind of stupid, but if we're doing like a haircut or an intricate braid or an updo or something, and we're getting frustrated with it, or it's not just working, like there's been moments where like we've almost come to tears because we're so frustrated with it. That just maybe because we're girls and we have things going on. But our teachers just say, like, walk away for a few minutes. Yeah. Just like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's hair. Yeah. But still, like, you obsess over this one thing and it's a grade and you have to get it done. Or, but like, you just need to step away from it. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest way to get out of a creative rut is step away, take a breather, maybe try something else. I know so much when it comes to like photography and stuff like that, people can get in a creative rut and constantly be repeating everything that they're doing. And some of the to get yourself out of that and find another creative thing is to do something that you've never done before. Like, they talk about so much time about if, say, you're doing day shoots and you're doing day shoots of people and you find yourself in a rut of doing it over and over and over again to the point where like it's no longer fun or no longer it's like a challenge.
Autopilot, like snap the picture and stuff.
Switch it completely. Do night shoots of buildings and streets. Like, find a way to challenge yourself in a different way that you typically don't do, because then what you learn from that, you can then apply to what you have been doing for the past how long. Yeah. And then you implement
and you grow from that too. Grow. Yeah.
And like, that's how you get your creative whatever flowing again. I mean, that's how you get out of a creative rut, is to step back, do something different. and then more things will come.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree.
So.
And I'm sure there's other ways too, but like that's just one of the ways that I've found works the best.
Yeah,
especially for me. Like I get so frustrated over things, so it's nice to just step back and take a breather.
Yeah, I definitely find myself having to do that. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Final topic.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this final topic, I simply called it the podcast future.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I call it the podcast future is because graduating from university and this no longer being a project, I've had so many people come up to me, and I mentioned to you this before. I've had so many people come up to me that I've didn't even consider when making this, ask me if I'm still going to continue it, like, and tell me that they've watched it, and it's such a weird feeling because a lot of them are people that never would have thought would have had any interest whatsoever. Like, why would they want to listen to me and someone else talk for an hour and a half?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About, like, it's stupid stuff. Like,
if
I'm being honest, it's completely stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's entertaining. I think it's entertaining, but it's dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not like we're changing the world or anything with our podcast.
Like, you can go throughout your day and not and be perfectly fine. But, I mean, just the fact of I've had countless people ask me about, are you continuing it? Where do you see it going? Like, what's the next step? And I mean, I hope that eventually down the line, I don't know how far it's going to be, but I hope that this, and I want to create other content, like what I said before. I want to do more. I want to do more of, like, short video stuff. Like, we have stuff already in plan, in motion. We just need to find time to do it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, I want to keep going with it. Like, I don't see this stopping.
Yeah.
In the foreseeable future. Now, given when we were talking about creative ruts and stuff, these next couple weeks are going to be crazy for me. So I don't know where that leaves this. Obviously, this is a hobby, but it's also a passion that I don't want to stop. And so I'm going to try to continue making this every week. I don't want to miss a week, but if I have to, this is the one thing that necessarily doesn't need to be done. As much as it pains me to say that,
it's not like a necessity.
It's not a necessity, and I hope that if I do have to take a week or 2 weeks or whatever off, I hope that whoever it is that's watching or listening or enjoys this, that they understand that, and that I do have to take whatever time off. I mean, I'm just hoping that this is something that continues and grows, and I don't want it to stop. I actually had a conversation with my professor that he was the one supervising the project, overseeing it and everything. And we were sitting down talking, and he looked at me and stuff, and he's like, do you know how amazing it is that you at 22 have already found something that you're so passionate about? He's like, so many people, even coming out of college, going into college and coming out of college and stuff, they still don't know what they're passionate about. And yet somehow you managed to find what it is that you actually want to do. He's like, if you keep up with this, he's like, on average, he's like, it takes 10 years for people to master some sort of skill.
Yeah.
But if you keep up with this, he's like, who knows where you're gonna go with it. He's like, it is such a rare thing for you to be able to actually find something that you want to do, that you're passionate about, that it's not just like I'll try it for you. It's like, I want to do this as much as I possibly can. So for me, I see the future of this podcast, I see it growing. I don't want it to stop. I want it to constantly be a weekly thing with new people. On top of it, I want to create short form content, maybe even like interviews with people of the community I thought might be interesting, just to kind of like get their story.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many people with such interesting stories.
That would actually be a really cool thing to do.
That, like,
interview people.
Typically, they don't get to share it.
Yeah.
Like...
And, like, this is something that my mom's always told me. She used to work in, like, nursing homes and stuff like that. And she loves talking with older people because of the stories that they have. She loves, like, sitting down with them. And I think that would be so interesting to just talk to people.
Yeah, that's another thing that I want. I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to somehow find schedule to fit in that I'm able to do something like that. Because there's so many people that I've talked to that they have such amazing stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you would have never guessed it.
Yeah.
By looking at them. Like, you pass them in the street, never would have.
Like, I mean, everyone has come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like it's sad that those stories are dying away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people have had so many interesting experiences of where they've come from, like, where they were, where they've been, where they are now, things that they've done in their life. And it's just... when their life ends,
those stories die with them. Yeah,
and I don't think that should be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing at all.
Yeah,
if anything, their stories deserve to be told. They deserve to be shared with the world. Something that it stays perpetual. And so that's another big thing that I want to take on. Yes, it'll be a lot of work, but it's something that I feel like should be done. And that someone isn't doing. Like,
yeah. I mean, like, people interview celebrities and stuff, but that's boring. Like,
yeah,
it'd be so interesting just, like, go to the park and see who shows up and, like, talk to them.
Yeah.
Because, like, you never know who you're gonna meet or what stories they're gonna have, or...
You never know, and you don't know until you talk to them. And, I mean, another thing recently that I don't even know how I came across it, how I decided to watch it or whatever, because you mentioned celebrities, is Bella Thorne. She has a 20-30 minute video of kind of, I don't know if it's by Vogue or who it is, but it's a 20-30 minute video of kind of like her life and how she grew up and how like the show Shake It Up that she was on, it wasn't fun for her.
Yeah.
Like it was a job, and how her mom always pushed her into, okay, you have to do this and do this. And like one example was, she was like, okay, let's bake cookies tonight so that we can get a picture of you and post it on social media. And she's like, we did a bunch of those like mother-daughter things, but it was never, let's do it to do it. It's let's do it so that we can share it.
Yeah.
She's like,
that would be horrible.
She's like, it never became a thing that like was fun for her. It was always a job. It was always something for her to do. And looking at her and watching her on the show and everything, you never would have thought that in a million years. And just the fact of like, that was a story that looking at her, never would have guessed. And that's a story that maybe never would have been told if she wasn't like a celebrity and didn't do her own thing now.
Yeah.
But I mean,
another thing with stories is like someone could connect with them.
100%.
Like, see that like someone else is going through the same thing and stuff like that.
100%. So that's kind of where I see this going. I want it to grow. I don't want it to stop. There's Casey Neistat again. He's doing this awesome thing called 368, where it's this building, this office building that he owns, that he's in New York City completely renovating it and making it so that the content creators, his friends, as well as people surrounding the area, can come and can actually like collaborate with other content creators and learn new skills and even like shoot and record their own stuff there. And it's such a needed thing because for so many people, they don't have a place to do something like that in.
I mean, the content making is a very big thing now, but in the same way, it's very underground because
very
like
much so.
Everyone wants the content, but no one like understands how difficult it is to make it.
Very much so.
Or the process.
Very much so.
So I think, like, connecting with people that are doing the same thing is really important.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely something that's lacking. That, I mean, even with, like, YouTube Space and everything, it's still lacking. Like,
I mean, like, isn't that in California?
Yeah.
And not everyone lives in California. Like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's something that I wish there was something like that around here.
Yeah.
But there's not. So, I mean, you're left to your own devices of trying to find
the people, yeah.
Whoever it is. And so, I mean, but that's where I see it going. I see it growing. I see it continuing, trying to reach out, connect with other people, doing other things. That's what I see. So, thoughts? What do you think?
I can't wait to see it.
Okay, wow. I got really deep there for the final one.
I mean, like, I think I came up with that one.
Yeah.
But, like, you're the only one that can really talk on it, so I just kind of sat here and let you go away with it.
That's very fair and very true.
But,
very fair and very true. But no. So those are my ideas. Those are what I want to do. Those are it. So.
Sweet.
Yeah. Thus ending episode 15.
I was about to say 15 in Spanish, but then I remembered I can only count to 10, so.
Well, you would be laughing at 15, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, would have been impressive, but I mean...
I'll do it for the next podcast.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. I'll be like, hey, make sure you learn this number in Spanish.
Like, I can do 1 through 10, and then I'll start at, like, 15, and there'll just be, like, a gap of 10 through 15 that I can't say.
You're like, I don't know these.
Skip a few, add a few.
Very nice, very nice. So how do you feel? How do you feel now that you're... It's awful to say winding down because nothing's winding down.
I know, but I get what you mean by it. Like,
I guess the next stage, how do you feel? Overwhelmed? Yes,
like...
Very much so.
It feels like... Because when you're graduating high school, you sort of need a plan. And it feels like every week I have a different plan. Like, I can't stick to one thing. Like, 1 week, like, oh, in the summer, I'm going to do this. And then it's like, I would hate that. And then I'm like, I'm going to do this. And then now I'm, like, changing my mind again. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So, I'll figure it out. I still have, like, a week before graduation. It's fine.
You got this. You got this.
1 more week to change my mind.
Yeah. You got this.
I'm not worried about it. It's just, it's pressure.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's
there. It's happening.
You have to get over it. Yes, I know. And nothing's winding down. I hate it when someone's like, oh, well, since it's winding down, I'm like, no.
It's starting up, honey.
It's not winding down. It's starting up. It's the complete opposite of winding down.
I feel like once June's over, like, I'll be okay.
Able to breathe a bit more.
Yeah. It's just a lot. Like, I'm just, like, even though I'm so stressed right now, I'm just enjoying these next couple of days. Because, like, after that, it's go, go, go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I understand. I understand. It's a thing. Okay, well, here we go. This is the end. Are you ready to end it?
Yes.
Ready to end it, and then we can move on.
Yes.
Continue with the rest of our week. Of course, what are the things that they should be doing?
Subscribing, liking, and commenting, and sharing, and...
There you go.
Yeah.
those are it. We'll just keep those 4.
Okay. I'll think of something else.
Good job.
In the next podcast.
Good job. You're a little rusty.
It's been a while.
It has.
So...
But I forgive you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. There you have it. Episode 15 in the books. Do those 4 things that Sid said because she is correct. And you need to do them. For once. And you need to do them. Because it greatly helps. Greatly, greatly helps. And I guess until next time, have a fantastic week. Hopefully this past hour and so have been entertaining for you. And just good luck with your life, because ours is crazy right now.
Yes.
Until next time, have a fantastic time. See you later.